Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened the very existence of Ukrainian statehood as his army's invasion of Ukraine faces stiff resistance and his economy is increasingly going for a toss due to sanctions. The current Ukrainian authorities must understand that if they continue to do what they are doing, they are putting in question the future of Ukrainian statehood, Mr. Putin said. And if this happens, they will be fully responsible. Since Russia's invasion 10 days ago, the economic and humanitarian toll of the war has spiraled, resulting in the exodus of more than 1 million people from Ukraine. Officials have reported hundreds of civilians killed. Kyiv has urged the West to boost military aid to the embattled country, including warplanes. Ironically, President Volodymyr Zelensky pleaded with Eastern European neighbours to provide Russian-made planes that his citizens are trained to fly. Mr. Putin, meanwhile, made harsher his warnings against NATO, threatening a wider war if a no-fly zone is set up. As his forces resumed their offensive against key Ukrainian cities, the planned evacuation from these cities was stalled. While Mr. Zelensky criticized NATO for ruling out the no-fly zone, Mr. Putin spoke of colossal and catastrophic consequences not only for Europe but also the whole world if such a step was taken. Any movement in this direction will be considered by us as participation in an armed conflict by that country, Mr. Putin said. Major corporations across a range of industries have halted business in Russia since the invasion, including US-based tech firms such as Intel and Airbnb to French luxury giants LVMH, Hermes and Chanel. Visa and MasterCard had already announced that they were complying with US and international sanctions imposed on Russia in the wake of its attack. As frantic top-level diplomatic talks continued, Mr. Zelensky announced on Saturday that he spoke by phone with his US counterpart Joe Biden to discuss financial support and sanctions against Russia. Hours earlier, the Ukrainian leader had addressed US lawmakers by video call, pleading for further funding and an embargo on Russian oil imports. The American legislators promised an additional $10 billion aid package, but the White House has so far ruled out an oil ban, fearing it would increase prices and hurt US consumers already hit by record inflation. News Desk, Kaumudi Global.